Hi, I'm Dargie and this is 5 Minute Photography, where we talk about photography learning in chunks of 5 minutes or less. Today we're talking about autofocus modes. What are autofocus modes, when should you change them, and how can it make your photography easier and better? Before I get into that, let me take a second to invite you to subscribe to the channel so you can see new videos as they come up and check out my location videos on my channel as well. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like it, it really makes a difference for me on YouTube. And head to my website to get my free ebook, 3 Steps to Better Photographs. Okay, let's get into it. Autofocus is one of those things that's there to make your photography easier. But if you don't have the autofocus in the right mode, it can actually make your photography harder. Understanding the different autofocus modes helps you take control of your photography and gets the camera working for you rather than against you. In most cameras there are 4 autofocus modes: single, continuous, auto, and manual focus. And in this video we'll delve into each one of those. Single autofocus, that's AFS on Nikon or one shot on Canon, is the right mode to have when you have a static subject. Landscape, still life, pose portrait, that kind of thing. This mode prioritizes focus over shutter release. In other words, it won't allow the camera to take a photograph until it believes it's locked onto the thing you're looking at. Once focus is locked, you can slightly recompose your shot if you keep your finger half pressed on the button. That's really handy if the focus point doesn't happen to fall on exactly the point that you're focusing on. Again, this mode is good for when the subject isn't moving, and it's helpful to know that the camera won't go ahead and take the shot before it's found the focus that you're looking for. If you have a moving subject, single focus will only get in your way. Again, the camera won't release the shutter until focus is locked, and if the subject is moving, it's really hard for the camera to lock focus on it. And so you'll just end up really frustrated really quickly. Say you're shooting sport, wildlife, or even just the kids running in the garden. You'll want the camera to take photos on demand, capturing fleeting moments and expressions as they happen in the moment. If you're shooting that kind of thing, that's when you need to change the camera to continuous autofocus. Continuous autofocus prioritizes shutter release over focus. That means that while the camera hunts for something to focus on, it will allow you to release the shutter as you go. While this can result in some out of focus shots, the way the autofocus tracks the subject as you shoot means that if you fire off a series of shots in quick succession, there's a good chance that some of them will be in focus and you'll get the shot that you're looking for. Continuous autofocus along with continuous shutter release and a dynamic autofocus area mode is a great way to shoot moving subjects. There's a few things coming together there, so I'm going to do a separate video about shooting moving action really soon. If you're not sure which mode to pick, or if you don't want to be changing the setting as you go, then you can set the camera to automatically choose for you. On a Nikon, AFA automatically switches between continuous and single shot autofocus as you go. The camera will assess what you're looking at and decide which is the right mode. On Canon, the mode is called AI Focus, and it's more like an extension of one shot, where once the camera has locked focus, it will continue to react to changes in the subject distance even after focus has been found. It works slightly differently than the Nikon version, but it's basically the same. Autofocus is great when it's working for you, but every now and again there's going to be times when it's just easier to do it yourself. The autofocus will struggle to hook onto a subject in low light, or if your subject has low contrast, the autofocus might jump onto something else in the frame. Another good example for me is when I'm shooting a close-up. I just find it easier to manually set the focus to the minimum focusing distance on the lens and then just move myself and the camera closer to the subject until I find it sharp. That guarantees that I'll get the minimum focusing distance for the closest shot, and it's a good way to keep an eye on the focus as well. If you're not used to manually focusing, it can take a bit of getting used to. I think if we're used to using autofocus, we don't really look at what the focus is doing, but when you're in manual focus, you really need to look very carefully at what the camera's actually focusing on. So that takes a bit of getting used to, but it's a really good practice and a good skill to have. Okay, in summary, single focus is for static subjects. Continuous focus is for moving subject. Automatic is for when you're not sure or you want the camera to decide for you. And manual focus is for just when the autofocus isn't doing what you want it to do. Also remember that within autofocus modes there are different autofocus area modes to choose from. It's a whole other subject, but it's worth reading up in your manual to check that you're getting the best autofocus area mode. When you get the right focusing mode and area mode and shutter release mode, it just makes your photography so much easier. Autofocus modes is one of those things that's a little bit clunky to talk about. It's much easier just to show someone if they're standing next to you. To make this easier, I've made an autofocus cheat sheet, which you can download from my website, and the link's in the description below. Okay, thanks so much for watching this. I hope you took something away from that. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, it really makes a difference. Subscribe to the channel so you see new videos as they come up, and head to my website where you can get my free ebook 3 Steps to Better Photograph, which includes an intro to DSLR cheat sheet. Thanks for watching, stay safe, take care, enjoy your photography, I'll see you out there.